everybody, and welcome to what is affectionately known as the Nature Coast. This is the part of Florida where you're going to find a lot of the nature. You're going to find the Florida panther here. You're going to find alligators in the lake just a little ways down here. You're going to find big tropical birds, bobcats. It's beautiful here. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of where I'm living now. And then, of course, we're going to get straight to the weekend video. Today, I want to talk about a phone call I had last night with a friend of mine. His name is Barry Gustafson. Some of you have seen him on Facebook. And Barry has totally fallen in love with the gospel. But he's also finding himself confronted and challenged by his friends who he, used to go to church with and stuff. And it's regarding what Barry has to say about, the redemption of the world and the gospel and things. And one of the things that Barry brought up is how people do not feel that the kingdom of heaven has arrived yet, or that the world's been redeemed yet, or anything like that, because of what they perceive to be all the evil in the world, all the crimes against humanity and things like that. And that's unfortunate, because I've covered that in many other videos, and it is according to the mindset, and it's according to their lack of knowledge, that we are all equal, and that everyone is right with God. If somebody could perceive that and realize that there is nothing you can do for your own righteousness, but it has already been done, and that is the good news, and that has been done for everybody, for all of humanity, and that we are all equal and right with God and loved, then, of course, I think we see a huge change in this world. But here's the problem. Number one of the examples that Barry gave was the fact that in a lot of Christendom right now, it is believed that when God establishes his kingdom on earth, because they don't believe it's already been established, that we will be in a condition where we've gone back to the Garden of Eden. It'll be like the Garden of Eden. They say that basically God, when he finishes his work in the establishment of his kingdom, that he will bring us all back to the garden, a state of being in the garden like Adam and Eve were. But see, that's completely opposite to the news of the gospel. See, Jesus said that anybody who looks back while they're at the plowshare, they are not fit for the kingdom of heaven. Well, thank God, Jesus was laying the groundwork for the kingdom of heaven, and he did not look back at that creation. He did not look back at the garden. He did not look back. His goal was not to put everybody back into that state, which was humanity created below the angels. He was excited about the new thing that he was going to do, and that was through him recreate everybody, a new creature, seated with him in righteous and heavenly places at the right hand of the Father. A new creature, created above the angels. And that new creature that Paul talks about in Corinthians and Galatians, that word new, is the Greek word kainos. Kainos means unprecedented. It means this new creature is something that never existed before. That's what Jesus was so excited about. And how did God do this? How did God recreate all of humanity into this new creature that is created above the angels and not below the angels, like back in the garden? Through the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. See, he was the last Adam. Everybody who was created below the angels was in the first Adam. And everybody who was in the first Adam was in the last Adam. And the last Adam recreated everybody above the angels, a new creature. See, this recreation cannot happen by any act of your own. Not by your believing, not by your acceptance, not by your confession of faith. There's nothing you can do to cause this recreation. It is an act of God, and it was an act of God through Jesus Christ at the cross. So, when it comes to the kingdom of heaven itself, first of all, God was looking forward, not backwards. And Paul also talks about how heaven and earth were recreated and all things were made new in that death and resurrection at the cross. See, it's a spiritual thing. It's not something you're looking for in the physical world. It's not a kingdom that's created by human hand or can be touched by human hand. It's a spiritual thing. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Barry was also given a note one time, and it's because of the gospel of peace and grace that he's been preaching from one of his friends. And the note said that not all who call me Lord will enter the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God. It's the same thing. And I believe that's true. But here's how I see that. See, according to the gospel, the good news, the truth of the reconciliation of all to God, that all are loved by God, is a truth that is in all of humanity. It's the truth. It's the truth of the kingdom. And see, Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within you. So when Jesus said that not all who call me Lord or prophesy in my name will enter the kingdom of heaven, and Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within you, and the truth of this gospel, the truth of the reconciliation of all, is within every human being, then your denial of that truth is causing you not to enter into the kingdom within you. That doesn't mean you don't go to heaven or be with God when you die. You're just not able to enter the truth in you now. So yeah, many who call him Lord and prophesy in his name do not enter the kingdom because they are preaching a self-righteous gospel. Anybody who asks what they must do to be saved, anybody who tells you what you must do to be saved, is preaching a gospel of self-righteousness and not preaching the gospel of peace and the gospel of grace and the gospel of all men made righteous through Christ alone. They are preaching another gospel, blinding themselves from the doorway into the kingdom within. Folks, that's just food for thought, and I hope the rest of your weekend turns out great. It's a 3-day weekend here. A lot of you have off on Memorial Day tomorrow, and enjoy your barbecues, enjoy your family and friends, and we'll see you in a few days.